I'm back. So we took a 1 week hiatus. I needed to kind of focus in and get a couple things taken care of. I was also a little bit under the weather. Nothing too crazy. Just had a little bit of congestion. You can kind of still hear it. So I apologize in advance for that. And if I'm clearing my throat a lot, I have my water right here to stay hydrated and stuff. Hold on. But yeah, I had some things to take care of last week. Had a lot going on. So I'm glad to be back. I didn't want to just film and just put something out there. I felt like on the last episode that I did that, I was disappointed in myself. Just plain simple, I was disappointed in myself. I don't want to put out anything like that anymore. If I'm not happy with it, I'm not going to put it out. So, I decided to take the week off. It is what it is. I didn't want to take any weeks off when I started this whole podcast, but I did. I had to. I had to get a couple things in order, figure out some things that had to get moved around, and I just had a lot going on. And I believe in the last episode I did talk about being overwhelmed, and I kind of was. And again, I didn't want to put anything out there that I wasn't happy with. It took me a week to kind of get that mindset in order, and I'm kind of at the point in my life where if I don't feel happy or content about something, I'm not gonna put my energy into it. I wanted to film. It's funny because I'm so used to doing this, so I wanted to be like, oh, I'm gonna go film the pod right now, but I just didn't. I didn't record. I didn't do anything, and it just happens. You have to take care of things when they need to be taken care of, and I did, and this had to take a back seat. But we're back. We're here. We're hopefully not going to take any more of those. Now that I have a situation, I have an update. I have a perfect idea for guest appearances on this podcast. And today I'm going to be working on the first guest appearance, which will hopefully be coming out in the next episode. Praying it all works out. But I have a plan now, and I didn't before. So I do now, and it's nice to know, okay, I have an idea, I have a plan, I'm going to put it in motion, and then I can go from there. If it works out, I'm so excited, I'm so happy, and we're going to just keep going from there. So hopefully this podcast continues to grow because of that. But, the biggest thing for me is just making sure that it's something that I'm happy with, and it's quality in my opinion. So, we're going to work on that today when I'm done with this. And hopefully the next episode you'll see someone with me, and it'll be a different dynamic. It'll be something interesting and different, fresh, which is what I kind of want to keep doing. I want to keep things fresh with this. But yeah, things are good. Things are okay. I mean, I'm okay today. I'm good now. I got a haircut today, so I feel much better. I was feeling real shaggy. And I noticed this too. I'm sure a lot of you guys notice that when you do some self-care things and you feel good about yourself and you make yourself feel nice and look nice, it brings everything up. You know what I mean? You just your spirits get lifted, and everything comes together, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful thing. So, got a haircut today. I feel so much better. I feel physically better, with the little ailment that I had. My daughter Luna was pretty sick for the past 2 weeks since her birthday, but she's doing a little bit better. Still has a little bit of congestion and stuff, so just hoping she continues to heal with that. Lily, on the other hand, has been going about it every day, powering through. She's been fine, thankfully, knock on wood, that she's been good. So hopefully they continue to stay healthy. We celebrated their birthday this past Saturday. We had a little drive-through at a park, but it was half drive-through, half party type thing. I don't know. It was not anything I was expecting. I was expecting it to be a drive-through, get in, get out, say hello to the girls. We had gifts for some of the kids that were there, get that to them, and it ended up just being like a cluster of things. And it's not that I wasn't happy with that, because obviously my girls were happy, but it was like, it wasn't, I was overwhelmed. It was a lot to take in and a lot to handle, and it was windy. We didn't expect there to be wind. It was sunny. It was a nice day, but a lot of things happened that day, and it was really, really overwhelming. But, we got through it, and they had a great time. I was with them yesterday. I was with my daughters yesterday, and we got to open up all the presents, and it was fun. They opened everything. They didn't get to play with everything because obviously some stuff was like, we got a lot of arts and crafts stuff this year because they're 6. They don't need toys and stuff. We have a bunch of toys. We got a lot of arts and crafts. We got a lot of clothes. Thank God. With school starting, we need that, and we got a lot of games, like board games and stuff. They're really into board games right now, which is awesome because I can play with them now. I don't have to just play Barbies and stuff and princesses. And I'm a dad, you know what I mean? I try to do my best with playing Barbies and stuff, but it gets a little hard. But now that they're into board games, I can play more, and it's more interactive, and they can learn more things, and it's so much more fun. Excuse me. I apologize. But they got to open everything up, and it was fun. My best friend Juan actually got them this really awesome, like, super complex box set of the LOL dolls. If you have kids around your life, you know what an LOL doll is. This thing was insane. It had like 70 pieces to it. It was like a puzzle to open, and it was crazy. It was crazy. They loved it. So like, we opened everything up, and they just kept looking at it, and we're like, when can we open that? When can we open that? So I promised them that they could open that first and foremost. So they got to open that. It was so fun. We went step by step. I got it done with them, and they got to accessorize their LOLs, and it was like a rock band set. Just so much fun. So that was real cool. And then I got them some like stuffed animals that they were really like, they're really into stuffed animals, like different colored ones and like really soft plush ones. There's like this brand called like Squishmallow or something like that. Shout out to them, but no free shout outs. If I don't get paid from them, I'm just saying shout out to them because my daughters love them, so that's it. But I got them some of those, and they're addicted to them. Like my daughter Lily carries one every day. Different ones sometimes. I got her a fox this time, and she won't let go of it. She wants to bring it everywhere, which is fun. But Luna she'll change her moods here and there. She'll want to play with dolls. She'll want to play with the stuffed animals. But yeah, I got her one too, and she loved it. But she's not as like attached to a stuffed animal like Lily is. But it was fun. They got to do that yesterday. And then if you're a parent, school's starting up for these little ones, for our little ones, and their mom and I are still trying to decide what we want to do. Right now we're just going to keep sending them to their daycare where they can do their online work, because it's just a lot to handle mid or end of the year. So right now that's what they're going to do. Moving forward, we'll figure out what we're going to do after that. But it's tough because they've spent like the last 2 weeks at home doing schoolwork because they've been sick, or Luna's been sick, and it's hard to like transition them back into school. So hopefully Luna's feeling better today, and then she can go back to school tomorrow with Lily, and then we'll kind of get back into the same groove, because it's tough. It's tough trying to deal with everything like that. And their mom does a great job at making sure that they stay on track. And when they're here with me, they do homework first before we do anything. We finished all of our schoolwork before we even touched a present yesterday. So they're very good with that, but it's hard trying to get little ones to settle down and want to go back to school if they're at home, or trying to tell them they're going to go back to school when they've been at home. So it's give and take. We have to give a little bit to take a little bit, but we're working on it with them, and I'm glad that they're doing really well with that. But that's update for me. It's been a week, not much, but pretty detailed update. after the last episode, like I said, I just didn't really know what to talk about. I was really confused in the direction that I wanted to take it. And, I got a lot of questions, and I could have put out a episode last week. I could have, with the questions that I got. But I just wasn't there mentally, and I wasn't there like emotionally, and I couldn't get myself to just put out an episode without any real desire. I just didn't want to do that. So we're starting back up today, and I got a lot of good questions, and I want to answer those questions, but something came to my attention yesterday from speaking with a friend, and it's something that's been on my mind, and it's something that I've actually talked with other people about, and it's been kind of a consistent topic, and I think it'd be perfect to talk about on this podcast. It's the idea and the feeling of being stuck in like a rut. You're like in a consistent cycle that you just feel like there's no progress being made. You feel like there's no true upward trajectory of where you're going. You feel like you're just stagnant. And I've had a couple people come to me with that. I've had a couple people come to me and tell me that that's what they're dealing with, and I've dealt with it too. I've dealt with it, and it's been tough. It's been so tough trying to handle that type of mentality and that mindset. But we got to get through it. There's nothing we can say or do that can help another person get out of a rut. You just kind of have to do things to push forward. I was talking to someone who is actually a client of mine, but she's a friend, and she was telling me that she just feels like she's just in a consistent cycle. Like nothing's changing. She feels like her progress in the gym isn't changing. She's not happy. She doesn't feel like anything is progressing. And I had to tell her, like, unfortunately, that's part of a job. In your career, you're gonna feel like there's a consistent, just everyday routine, but that's part of it. You want a routine when it comes to your job or when it comes to life. That way you don't fall off track. And yes, we're young. She's younger than I am, so she's, trying to still experience life and enjoy her time on this earth. And believe me, I am too. But when it comes to work, you kind of just have to go through it. If it's the career that you want, it's gonna be like that. That's a life. It's your life. That's what you want to make a living with. So it's gonna kind of have to be a bit of a cycle, because that's where you can consistently see progress. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. It does. It's not linear either. It goes up and down. It is what it is. I've dealt with it with work, especially in the industry that I'm in. It's super up and down. You have to realize there are seasons where you're not going to be busy. You're not. So you have to kind of plan for that. There are seasons where you're going to be really busy and you're not going to have much of a life. So you got to plan for that. But again, it usually happens in the same time of year, same, order. But again, it's just part of it. Are you capable? Are you prepared? Are you ready to take on all the struggles and the trials that come from it? It's going to be hard. It's not easy, because you want to enjoy life. You want to go explore and maybe travel or do things that you thought you would be able to be doing at this age. But if you're in the career that you wanted to be doing, why not worry about that and then worry about enjoying life later on? Work hard now, play hard later. Like, it's a cliche saying, but it's true. I work so hard right now and do my best to do that so that once I'm older, I can enjoy my time and not work so hard and basically live my life to work. You know what I mean? I want to work hard now. Yeah, I know I'm young and I could be enjoying all the fruits of life right now, but it's like, I'm not going anywhere. At least I don't hope not. So I don't want to tell myself that life can't be put just solely into work, because that's just what that's always what I've known to do too. I've been working since I was like 14 and 15. It's all I know. So, it's tough sometimes. I do feel like I'm in a rut and I want to do something different. But then again, that's when you have to just maybe take a vacation, maybe take a weekend staycation somewhere and just kind of unplug. Put your phone down, unplug for like a weekend. Don't worry about anything. Focus on you. If you're in a relationship, focus on you and your significant other. Like that's where you recharge your battery, and it's common to feel stuck. It's common to feel like you're in a consistent cycle and it just becomes so vicious because you're trying to work out of it. You're trying to power through it, but it's not working. It's not working, and you just feel like nothing you do is making a difference. But in reality, it is. It's just not showing right away. Everyone wants that immediate gratification, and life isn't always about that. You have to put your deposits in every day to be able to see that end goal, that outcome that you want to see. And unless you start putting your time in every single day and chipping away little by little, that sculpture, that masterpiece at the end of the work is not going to be there. And for me, I felt stuck in the sense that like I didn't know what I was going to be doing. Like, am I going to still be training people in 10 years, in 20 years? Granted, I want to be. I want to be training clients and working out myself and everything like that till I'm unable to walk. I want to be able to do that. I love what I do. It's part of who I am. When people think about me, they always tell me I'm the trainer. I recently changed my Instagram name because I just felt like yeah, everyone wanted to put me in that box of just being a trainer, but I'm more dimensional than that. But it's fine. People know me as being quote unquote JV fit. Like, that's who I was. I was the fitness guy. That's fine. But you have to remember that you are also in control of how you are viewed. Do you want to be considered the same person every time by everybody? I started to not like it. People were calling me by my Instagram handle, and it's fine. It was a joke. They didn't mean it like maliciously. It's not a jab at me. That's just how they knew me. But that's not who I am. It's part of who I am. Yes, it's part of who I am, but it's not who I am as a whole. So I changed my Instagram name just because I'm me at the end of the day. I'm not the fitness guy. I'm part of that. That is part of who I am. That makes up who I am, but it's not me. It's not who I am. So, I had to change that in myself. And I did that, and I feel it felt good. It felt good to kind of get out of that box that I had kind of put myself in. Another thing was like, I'm starting to do things that I'm not very comfortable with. I'm starting other social medias, which is weird. Like, I was so cool with just having Instagram. Like, it was easy. I was good at it. But, I started a Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. I'm going to put all my links and stuff in the description of these videos like I always do. And if you're listening to me on Spotify, I'll put them on there now. I haven't been doing that, but I need to. So I'll put all those in the description. I'll even put them in the page, the page of the podcast. And, Twitter's fun. It's kind of like just a mobile diary. You kind of can just put down thoughts and like little things you want to be saying, and it's like you're talking to yourself. I don't have many followers at all, and it's fine. I'm not on there to have a ton of followers. I'm there to just kind of have another avenue. If I can get more followers, great. If not, great. It's fine. I'm gonna continue to keep on keeping on. I enjoy what I'm doing. I also started a TikTok. I'm just trying to try different things. I don't want to feel like I'm in the same stagnant like box all the time. So I'm doing different things. I'm getting out of my comfort zone, because that's where growth happens. Growth doesn't come from staying in a box and being comfortable. So, I always talk about the GU, get uncomfortable. You have to kind of get out of your routine a little bit and test yourself. Find out what you're really made of and see what you're really all about. And for me to always talk about being versatile, which I believe I am, I should be able to do these things. And I'm trying. I made one TikTok already. I'm going to try to do more. Get my kids involved. I know they like watching TikTok sometimes with me. So we'll figure some things out with them. It's just another thing to have fun. I'm just trying to branch out. And I tell everybody the same thing. If you're listening to this, do that. Try things to get uncomfortable. If you're not one to sit down and meditate, if you're always go, 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 sit down and meditate. Even if it's for 5 seconds, work your way up to it. 5 seconds to 30 seconds to a minute to 5 minutes to an hour. Just try it. I mean, what could it hurt? Nothing. It could, there's really nothing it could hurt. Like for me, when I realized, okay, I'm going to start a Twitter, what damage could it do? Nothing. TikTok, what damage could it do? Nothing. At the end of the day, it's like I make up who I am. I tell myself who I am and what I am. So whatever anybody else could think of me, I don't care. Because I know who I am at the end of the day. And it's even like with this whole OnlyFans situation. Everyone's starting OnlyFans, I guess. Great. If people have something negative to say about someone else starting an OnlyFans or starting something like this or anything like that, get out. The door is right there. You have no right to say anything about anybody who has an OnlyFans or anything like that. I might start one. Straight up. I might start an OnlyFans. As funny as it is to say, I get a lot of people in my DMs talking crazy to me. Just straight up. Maybe I just give them a reason to watch me. I post a lot of like shirtless stuff and progress pictures and things like that on Instagram, on my story. Why would I do that for free now? If I have an audience, go to OnlyFans. You know what I mean? Again, but people are afraid to do that or afraid to say that because they're like, oh, what if I say that and then someone's going to think anything? Who cares? I don't care. I don't care anymore, man. Like, I spent so much of my time, so many years growing up worrying about what other people thought of me, and I can't be doing that no more. Like, I was trying to please everybody left and right, and I was just unhappy. I was so unhappy with that, and I was so like, man, what are they gonna think of me? Like, am I making other people happy? Who gives a shit now? You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck. Like, straight up, I don't care. I really don't care. Like, when I think about it, are they going to pay my bills? Is anybody who has a negative opinion going to worry about what I'm doing? No. Because ultimately, if it's not on the screen that they can see, they don't know what I'm doing. So, whatever is on the screen that you can see of me, that's like 10% of who I am. Honestly. And if you know me personally, you know it's only 10% of who I am. Maybe I put myself out more. Get them to like me more. I don't care if they do. Really, I don't. Like, I could start an OnlyFans tonight if I wanted to. Who's going to stop me? Who's going to stop you? I can tell you right now. Nobody. Nobody should stop you either. If you're old enough, do it. You know what I mean? If you're of age, do it. If you live on your own, do it. If you pay your own bills, do it. It's just, unless you have like, I hate to say, I have friends that have sugar daddies because they got it like that. Great. He's paying your bills for you. He doesn't want you to start an OnlyFans. Don't do it. If you're underage, don't start an OnlyFans. You know what I mean? Like, if you're of able body, able mind, and able age, that's another thing, do what the fuck you want. Straight up, do what you want. Because ultimately, you only have one life. And you have 24 hours in a day, however many years you're going to live on this earth. Use every single one of them. I'm in my life. I've told people this many times. I don't want to be the guy to be like, man, I wish I would have done this. I want to experience everything life has to offer. I want to experience anything that life can be presented to me. You know, any opportunity that could be presented to me, I want to utilize it. I want to be able to say like, oh yeah, I did that. I tried it out. I was on YouTube. I have a Twitter. I have TikTok. I have an OnlyFans. Who cares? Who cares? It's just more things to talk about. You have more dynamic to you. It gets you out of that rut. It gets you out of that consistent, cycle. Like for me, this podcast became a new thing into my daily life, into my cycle that was always the same thing. Then I threw a podcast in there and it became a different part. Now it's different. Now I have to plan for it. Now it's another dynamic in my life that I'm able to say like, oh, I'm not doing the same thing over and over again, because it's like, now it's a new episode with a different topic. Now I'm trying to plan with guests. Now I'm doing this. Now I'm doing that. It's all part of it. The grand scheme of the thing is to ultimately like always challenge yourself, always do things to be better and to see how far you can go and your growth. Like that's the greatest thing anybody can do, is continuously grow every single day, every facet of life, even if it's one thing at a time. If you're able to grow in one area of your life and then it continues on to the next one, great. Don't worry about growing in 10 different things back to back to back. It's not going to work that way. If you're able to do that, more power to you. But most of the time it's you grow here, then you grow here, then you grow here. It's not grow here all at once. For me, it's never worked that way. So yeah, I'm doing one thing at a time. I'm trying new things after another, but I'm making sure that I'm comfortable in one before I can go into another one, because if I haven't grown yet in this area, how can I expect to grow in this area? It just doesn't happen. So that's my advice to you. If you feel like you're stuck in a rut, if you feel like you're in a consistent like cycle where you just can't seem to get out of it, or you can't seem to find happiness or anything, find something to test you. Find something to get you out of that same bubble, get you out of the hole that you're in. And you don't have to get yourself like, you've dug yourself into that hole, right? You don't have to climb out. Just find a new way out. Maybe dig a tunnel into another place and you'll find gold. Like there's always something positive at the end of, effort, continuous effort every single day. There are plenty of ways to find it. You just got to try it. You just got to do it. And if you don't, you're going to regret it. You're going to be like, dude, I'm 40 years old and I could have done this back then. Why didn't I do it? I don't want you to live with regret, just like I don't want to live with regret. I've missed a lot of things in my life because of other things, but I'm trying to not allow that to happen anymore. I did that to myself. No one else did it to me. I did it to myself. So now, since I'm in control of who I am as a person, and I'm happy to be able to say that I'm not that same person anymore, I'm trying to get out of that same path. I'm trying to go in different directions of life where I can say like, dude, I'm better than that. I'm better than who I was, and I'm going to continue to get better, but I can't say that if I'm not trying. So you have to do the same thing. I know how tough it is. I know how tough it is to say like, I don't know what to do. I feel like I'm stuck. I feel like I can't get out of this lifestyle. Nothing's changing for me. I know how tough that may feel. I know what it's like. It's suffocating. But have you done anything else? Have you tried anything? If you haven't, then don't give up yet. Don't just say like, I can't do this anymore, because you can. If work seems like it's become so monotonous that it's the same thing over and over again, get into a hobby. Start a hobby. Like, find something to invigorate yourself. For me, even, I'm big into sports, as I've talked about before, and something that kind of lights my fire is like small gambling. I don't put thousands of dollars in, of course, because that's just reckless. I don't have money like that. But within my means, it's harmful because I have a budget for it. It's not a big budget, but I try to have fun with it because it's like, oh, that's gonna get me a little bit of a rush, and it's like something to look forward to. And if it pays out, great. It's like I came out on top. It's awesome. But if I don't, I'm still trying. I got that excitement in me. Now I can look forward to the next time, and it's just part of it. I don't spend my money on other things because that's something that I want to do. But if you want to do something else, like I want to take a trip every weekend. Every weekend I want to go somewhere different. Do it. If you have the means to it, go do it. Get yourself out of the cycle. That way that weekend can be your recharge. It's what gets you to feel like you're not in the same cycle every day. Even on the weekends, you're out of it. 2 days even will make a huge difference. I promise you. Again, you just have to do it. And if you don't, you're going to regret every chance that you do. Every time you could have been presented with an opportunity, you're going to think back and be like, wow, I said no to that, and it would have been so much fun. Or I said no to that and it wouldn't have taken any extra time because I ended up just being home and being sad, or watching the same Netflix movie, or continuing the same show that it will still be there when I come back. It's all part of it, man. I have people reaching out to me who aren't physical or who aren't active, and one easy thing for me to tell them is, if you feel like you're in a rut, try to work out, try to run, do something physical, do something that's not in your same, daily routine to get you out of it. If you're not already an active person, try to get active. If you're already an active person, take a weekend off and go have some fun. Makes a big difference, man. I've learned to take breaks myself now. I used to work out like every freaking day, and it was great. Obviously you see results because you work out so hard every day, but I was seeing negative effects in my my personal and my mental. And I had to kind of take a step back and think like, is it worth it? Is it worth risking my mental health and, my emotional happiness just to be able to say I look good in front of a mirror naked? Ultimately, it wasn't. For a while, I was like, yeah, I don't care. I work hard for this body. I'm going to keep it. It's like, okay, what's one day going to do for you? What's 2 days off going to do for you? Is it going to ruin everything? You talk about your work ethic being so great. You can get back there. That's what I did. I was like, I'm not going to work out every single day and kill myself every day just to look the same every day. I'll take a day off or two. It may have some slight physical effect. There you go. There's your fire for the rest of the week. Get back to where you were. Improve on where you were. That way you're not just in the same plane every day. It's like you're here, you take those 2 days off. It's like, oh, I dropped down. Now I get to work back up. It's all part of the plan, man. That worked for me. That's what I did. I can't say that's going to be your thing, because that's my thing. But I'm just giving you points of view from my perspective, because I can only speak on my perspective. I can give everybody all the advice in the world, but ultimately, your direction and your path is different than what I could say for me, because what I can talk about is my path, and what I could talk about is what I do, what helped me. And along the same lines, again, I get a bunch of DMs and a bunch of messages asking me, what do you do for abs, bro? Like, what do you do to look so good? And it's like, look, you can't ask me what I do, because what I do is for me and my needs and what works best for me. I've been doing this for a long time. Like, I can't give you the blueprint on what I do, because it's not going to work for you. You're a different individual than me. I have a different chemical makeup, and my biology is different than yours. My schedule is also different than yours. So I have ways of doing things, and my knowledge is different. I can't go to a mechanic and be like, hey dude, like, how do you change an engine on a car? Do you have time to learn all this shit? No, I don't. Then you can't do it. I can tell you what to do to start with your direction. Like if you want to learn how to change the engine on a car, go learn how to do this. Go learn how to do that. Go learn how to do this. Like they may have their own ladder of things to do. What I usually tell people, just a quick, tip of advice. Someone wants to know how to get abs, let's say. That's always the common one. Bro, how do you get a six pack? How do you get your abs like that? First question is always, what's your diet like? Oh, I eat pretty healthy. What's healthy? Because I wouldn't consider what I eat healthy, but I still look the way I do, but it's not because of what I eat. You know what I mean? So they'll say, oh, I eat healthy, but I snack here and there. It's like, well, the snacking is not your problem. You may be eating too much, which most likely is your problem. And a lot of people think certain things are healthy, but then they realize like, oh, that's a lot of calories and whatever that may be. Already you're in a deficit. You're already in a negative starting point. Then I always ask them, how many times a week do you work out? Oh, I work out like 5 times a week. How long? Oh, it's like an hour and a half, hour. What do you do? Well, I do this, that, and this, and I try to run. So you work out 5 days a week. And you say you eat healthy, but you're still either gaining weight or not seeing progress. Okay. What's your sleeping schedule like? Are you drinking enough water? I get answers to a lot of this equation that I make up in my head as a trainer to give them an answer. I'm not going to tell them, you got to do this, this, and that to get the 6-pack. Sign up now. No, that's not what I'm about. I'd rather tell somebody that I can't help them because the work is going to be too hard based on what they already are trying to come at me with, than just be like, well, this is how you should do it, and just lie. And then they're going to be like, well, this dude was a lying piece of shit. Like, he didn't tell me anything that worked. He was honest with me and told me like it's going to be too hard with what I do. But ultimately, my goal is to get someone to train with me, right? As a trainer, you want someone to come work out with you and to pay you for your service. Yes, that's what I want. Obviously, at the end of the day, it's always what I want. But I'm not going to give somebody a pitch just to make sure that they sign up with me. I want them to know that I'm trying to be as honest and open with them as I can be before they even come at me with well, how much do you charge? Because if you don't trust me already and thinking like, so you're already trying to sell me and I haven't even like given you any information, as someone who is a consumer of other things, that's not what I would be looking for. That's not what I would be attracted to. So how can I expect to put that out there and expect this from that person? You know what I mean? So when people come at me with questions about physical fitness and how to look this way or how to get that way, I make up an equation in my head and I ask them the questions that help me get to the answer to that equation, and then we go from there. I assess the situation with those questions. And if the equation seems like it could work out, I could be like, well, look, I could help you. You would need to come to me 2 to 3 times a week or more, depending on the person. Continue what you're doing, but also come to me so I can, fine tune things. Because I can help get over that hump, let's say, but you can't stop what you're doing. Because what you're doing is already, keeping you at a plateau, right? Adding me will help you get over that plateau. But you're going to plateau again. You know what I mean? Everyone plateaus to a certain point. I plateau. Any professional in this industry will tell you plateau. Everyone plateaus. Then you add certain things in and out. You plug and play. That's just part of it. So I'll give you the tools to do that, but I'm not going to do it for free, obviously. But I'm also not going to just like have you come and work out with me and make you expect that what I'm doing is going to get you to where you need to be. Because I have plenty of clients right now that I can ring up the phone and tell them like, hey, if I was telling you to do everything, do you think you'd be doing it? And I guarantee they all would say no. Like, I have clients that if I just told them what to do, they wouldn't do it. Now, the fact that I'm there with them every day when we train and I give them the explanation of why they should do it as they're doing things, it starts to make dividends. Again, it's deposits every day. Like, I can't tell a client after one session everything that they want to hear and expect them to see the progress within a week. or after that one session. It's going to take months. And I tell clients that. I tell people who inquire about that. I'm like, you're looking at about 6 months. 6 months of training, at least. Or a client will tell me, I have to look this way by this time. Most of the time, unfortunately, it's unreachable. As someone who's done like crazy strict cuts and diets to where I've lost an exorbitant amount of weight in a short amount of time, I can tell, because I'm a professional, don't forget, I can tell someone who's not a professional, who has a regular day job and who doesn't train the way I do, who doesn't eat the way I do, I don't know their work ethic, because obviously everyone has their own work ethic. I can tell you right now, it's not going to happen. Like, you either come into me too late or you're going to have to change your lifestyle completely. And people don't want to do that. People don't want to hear that even. People don't want to hear that you have to stop drinking and going out on the weekends to see your goal that you're trying to meet. It's not something that people are ready to hear. The truth hurts. And I think a lot of trainers don't do that. And it sucks because, I'm not the most successful trainer. I have plenty of people that I could refer people to that have tons of more clients, way more successful than me. But again, I don't ask them what they do that's different, because I already know based on how I see their clients, Yeah, they'll post their clients that are consistently seeing results because it's like, oh, you got one with them. I got those too. I don't post them all the time because, again, like with the pandemic, I wasn't trying to post everybody and, get me shut down and stuff. So, I have clients that if I tell them to do something, they're going to see results. That's just how it is. So the interesting thing is knowing exactly how to prescribe people or how to get someone into the same mindset as I have to be able to be successful. And even then clients reach out to me and say they're not seeing results or not seeing changes. And it's like, okay, well, let's assess what you're doing outside of the gym, because the workouts are fine. You're killing it every day in the gym. What are you doing differently? What's happening? Are you stressed? Well, yeah, my work. It's like, well, there you go. That's an answer already. Most people don't realize, like, when you're stressed out, you retain water from a chemical called, anybody know? Cortisol. Cortisol is a chemical that your brain releases throughout your body when you're stressed. And that, in turn, will make you retain water. Make you feel like you're not, losing weight, or you may even gain weight. It's not, the end of the world. It's a chemical reaction that your body does. Just like when you're happy, another chemical gets released called serotonin. Your body releases that to tell your body, we're good, we're happy, we're functioning properly. Cortisol is just the opposite of that. So, I'll tell them okay, so you're stressed. What are you stressed out about? You have to break down the equation for them as well, because obviously they're already with you. They want to know how to get better, how to do better, and as a trainer, that's what you have to help with. So that's part of my job of getting people to be successful and out of the same routine or cycle or hole, whatever you want to call it. So along with being a trainer, just going through it myself has helped me become more adept to help people. And I can say consistently help people, because I have, like I said, the same clients that I could, reach out to and say hey, if I wasn't there to help you, do you think you'd be able to do all this? It's like, I can tell them, I can ask them, do you think that you're successful with the knowledge that I've given you? It's because I'm just talking to you, or because I really have been through it? And almost all my clients know my story and know how hard life has been for me over the years. And it's part of who I am. But I've been through life. I've been through a lot of things to be able to talk about it, because I can't just speak out of, nowhere and act like I know what I'm talking about and act like I know what other people are going through when I don't. But I do. I've been stuck in a hole before. I felt like I couldn't see progress in my life, and then I've gotten out of it. So I have tools to be able to get people out of there. But again, it's all part of going through it, and trial and error, and trial and error, and overcoming every trial. But again, always trying every single day. And if someone's not willing to try, then you're not going to see results. But if you're willing to try and you're willing to put in the effort, you're going to see the changes. You're going to see how much you can improve every day. It's all part of it. It's all part of it. But for me, when it comes to, being in some sort of rut and I feel like I'm down and out or anything like that, even if I'm trying the new things that I'm trying, or I feel like, man, I don't know what else to try to implement, I just try to separate myself from a situation or a place that I go to as like a solace. Like if my room in here, aka the podcast studio, it's like where I go to just get away from things. But sometimes this is when I feel the most anxious and the most depressed, is laying in bed and watching TV or just being in my room. So what I do is I get up, get in my car, and I drive, get some fresh air. Hopefully if it's sunny, get some vitamin D, and I just drive. It helps me. It's a simple fix, and I can kind of think about some other things. Like I can game plan how to get myself out of the rut. I can game plan how to be successful. But again, just because I game plan doesn't mean that it's going to happen. I got to execute. And that's what I try to do every day. Some weekends, especially like this past weekend, I felt kind of sad just laying in bed, and I chose to stay home. I could have gone out and I chose not to. I could have pushed to do things with people, but I didn't. That's on me. But now I know for next weekend, if I start to feel like that, I gotta get out. I gotta just do something, anything. So that's part of it. I've learned through it. I'm gonna continue to keep trying, keep in and out efforts, plug and play. And who knows? Maybe I'll continuously deal with this type of feeling. Some days feeling good, some days feeling bad. That's fine. That's part of it. That's part of life. We all have to deal with, emotions. And the world is giving us stimulus every single day that could make us feel good, could make us feel bad, could change our moods every second. But there are always things to look to for positive energy and for, the light at the end of the tunnel. We're opening up. California's opening up, at least for us. Places have been open, but California's opening up, and we can go and do things. We can eat at restaurants. We can go to the gym if you haven't been going to the gym. Like, things are opening up. There are things to be thankful for and things to look forward to and to be appreciative of. But you have to be able to appreciate them. You have to be able to notice them and recognize them and be able to say, I'm so thankful to be in this position that I'm in, and be able to access the things that I'm able to access. And if not, if you feel like going out and doing things isn't going to help you get out of your hole, again, try something new. Get into a hobby. Start reading. Journaling. People always want to talk about journaling, and I've journaled before, but if you've never done it before, try it. What could it hurt? I can answer that for you right now. Nothing. It will hurt literally nothing to try something new. I can promise you that. It's not going to hurt anything. Like, if anything, it's just going to be able to be like, oh, I tried it. It was cool. Let me try something else. I checked that off the box of maybe options to try. Let me try something different. But again, it's all based on your effort, on what you want to be able to do and what you're willing to do. If you ask yourself, what am I willing to do to feel better? If it's nothing, I can't help you. No podcast or advice or quote can help you if you're not willing to want to try things and not willing to open yourself up. Excuse me. So all you can do really is open yourself up. Be willing to accept anything. If you're already willing to accept negative stimulus from the world and things that are going to tear you down and things that are putting you in that hole, making you feel down and out about life, why not be open to be given something positive, or to try something positive, try something new? Like, that's crazy to me that you'd be able to accept a negative thing but push away a possible positive. Just because it's not a set thing doesn't mean it's not going to happen. You have to be willing to try. And if you're not, there's only so much someone can do for you. I don't have a significant other there right now to be able to say, like, oh, you can do this, you can try this, or let's just get out for the night, or let's go do something. I don't have that. What I do have is the ability to say, I'm going to get myself out of this. I'm going to pull myself up. I'm willing to do that for myself. That's why I feel the way I do every day. That's why I'm able to get through things when they get tough, when they feel overwhelming. While I'm able to get back to this podcast when I didn't want to last week. I got myself out of that hole. I got myself to be able to get back in front of this camera and talk and open up and try to help others. Because I know I have things I could help people with. I know I have knowledge and information that could possibly benefit someone in this situation. I mean, I've helped people already just talking about it to them. And it's a disheartening feeling, I know, to feel stuck, to feel like nothing's changing and nothing can progress. I know it is. I know it sucks. But are you going to let it keep sucking? Or do you want to change? Do you want to feel better? Do you want to see improvement? It's up to you. If you don't want to, then that's okay. That's on you. But I'm not willing to accept that. At least for myself and for people I care about. So if those people come to me and ask me they tell me even that they're feeling this way, I can't allow them to feel that way. I don't want them to feel that way. It breaks my heart when they tell me things like this, because it's like, I've been there before and I know how shitty it is, and I don't want them to feel that way. Like, I don't want anybody to feel that pain. It's horrible, but I'm never going to give up on trying to help people with that. I'm never going to give up trying to help those that come to me for advice or come to me for anything, because they're coming to me for a reason, and they want my help for some reason, and they tell me things for some reason. I don't believe that they just told me that they're feeling this way for no reason. It's just like, oh, I'm just going to unload because I tell everybody. No, I know people who tell me things are telling me for a reason, because they know I can help. Even if they don't want to accept it, I think they tell me for some odd reason, and I'm never going to stop trying. I'm never going to be accepting of the idea that, like, I can't help this person. I can't do that. So if someone comes to me for advice or comes to me for help or anything along those lines, I'm going to do whatever I can to help them. And if any of those people that have reached out to me recently are watching this or listening to this, I'm there for you. I promise I'm there for you. And if you're hearing this for the first time and you want to come to me for advice, or you want to seek someone out for help, I'm there for you too. I'm never going to give up. I'm never going to stop trying. I'm never going to stop giving myself to people who need me or who need help. Never gonna stop. As much as life may be weighing down on me, I can't allow people to feel that, because I know how shitty it is. I know how how heavy it may feel. And I don't want you to take that on alone. But I want you to know you can come to me at any point in time and talk to me. You can reach out at any point. I have many avenues of talking to me. I have many ways of reaching me. You just got to seek it out. And I'm not going to go out and say, like, hey, if you need me, I'm not going to put it out on Instagram and be like, if you need me, I'm there for you. Come to me. Come to me. I'm your guy. No. If you need somebody and you don't know who else to talk to, and you wanted to talk to me because you watched this podcast or you listened to it, just reach out. But if you're not ready, don't reach out. Come to me when you're ready. Anybody who may need somebody, I'm willing to help. As long as they are able to come to me confidently, I won't ever turn anybody away. So if you feel that way, my door is always open. You can come to me for anything. I promise. And for those who have already come to me, just know I'm as thankful for you as you may be of me. And I'm always going to be there, even when you're better. Even after you say thank you so much, you helped me with that, I'm still going to be there. I'm always going to check in. You know, if you're watching this or listening to it and, you know, any of the topics that I talk about move you, they feel, you resonate with them, let me know. We can always have a discussion. We can always unpack your situation and dive into it. And hopefully, once I start doing these guest podcasts, it'll help people out more. They'll get another person's perspective. And I can help those people even. And maybe their audience can come over here too. I wanna see people happy. Just as much as I want to be happy. So if we can do that, I'll be successful. I'll be happy. I'll be thankful for the position I'm in, because not everyone has that opportunity to reach out or to have an avenue of conversation. You know, I've had times where I felt like I couldn't talk to anybody. I've had times where I feel like I have to keep to myself because no one else will understand me. But there are people out there that will understand me. And there are people out there that will understand you. You just have to be open to it. Just like if you're feeling like you're in a hole, you have to be open to trying things and be open to letting yourself be vulnerable and be uncomfortable. What could it hurt? Literally, what could it hurt? If you have a good answer of what it could hurt, let me know. I can promise you I'll come back with some more facts for you. But if you have a good reasoning to say it's going to hurt this because of that, we could talk about it. I'd love to know your point of view of why you think it'll hurt trying something new to get out of a hole. Let me know. If you disagree with my opinion, please let me know, and I would love to talk about it with you. I'd like to know. I always want to know other people's perspectives and point of views and ideologies, and that's how I'm going to grow too. How can I be putting out this information and not be open to accepting new information? Like that's hypocritical, and I can't allow myself to be that way. Like that's my number one pet peeve. I hate hypocrisy, so why would I allow myself to do that? If you have a contradicting argument, please come to me and let's talk. Let's have a conversation about why you think otherwise. Maybe you'll teach me a thing or two. Maybe I could do the same to you. Again, what can it hurt? What can just talking hurt. I can tell you, at least from my perspective, nothing. It's not going to hurt anything or anybody. Any conversation that I have with anybody is strictly between me and them. I will never give out anybody's information. We'll never be able to tell anybody the details of what we talk about, but I'm open to anything, any lines of communication, any conversations that may need to be had. I'm open to them. And I would love to hear them. Honestly, I would love to hear them. So I think that about wraps this one up. It was nice to get back in front of the camera and talk about something that I feel like was, weighing down on me and was important to me. That's why I do this every week. This is one of those episodes that becomes one of my favorites because of how good it made me feel to talk about it, and how good I think it's gonna do for people, how much good it's gonna do, and how much it's gonna help people. And who knows, maybe it doesn't blow up, maybe it doesn't become a successful episode like other ones have been, and that's fine. But you know what? I'm happy with it. I'm happy with who I am and what it turned out to be. At the end of the day, that's what I want for every episode from now on. So if you like this episode, please like, comment. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. Check me out on Spotify, like I said. I'm going to put all my links to my social medias down in the description box. And, find me there. Find me anywhere. Talk to me. Reach out. If you don't want to talk to me on Instagram, talk to me on Twitter. If you don't want to talk to me there, talk to me on TikTok. Talk to me anywhere. I'll be there. Shit. The OnlyFans may come up sooner than later, so you may see me on there too, and you can reach out there. We'll see. But again, I'm not closing any doors to anything. I'm open to it all, and I'll be happy to oblige anybody who reaches out and who wants to talk. So share this video as well. It may help other people that aren't already watching. I just want to see people happy, and if you can help me get there, I'll love you even more. Because if you're already listening or watching, I love you. I do. I love you for supporting. And like I said, hopefully next weekend we get a guest podcast, we get a guest on, and things start to change. The dynamic starts to change, and I'm gonna start working on that ASAP. I promise. We're working on that as soon as this is done, and I'm just so thankful again for you guys' support. Let's keep growing. Let's keep, striving to be the best versions of ourselves, and just always be positive. Always be positive. Even when things get tough and things are negative, try to find the good in everything. Try to find the good in yourself. Try to find the good in other people. It makes things so much easier, and it makes life so much more enjoyable. We only have one. So make the best out of it. I love you guys. Thank you again. I will see you in the next one. Be safe, be happy, be healthy, and continue to spread positivity. Bye guys. Love you.